Good afternoon. It is Thursday, November 20th, 2025. I'm standing on Beck's Road, about a half mile south of Skyline Parkway, downhill of Skyline Parkway, continuing with the Monitors project of visiting all the parks in the city from smallest to largest. We started at park number 162 and we have now worked our way up to park number 19, park number 17 at 76.07 acres. It is Shortline Park. This sign is fairly new within the last few years, as is the trail, which goes off that way. That was the trail you used to use, but now they have made a much more accessible and nice trail. Shortline Park includes two of Duluth's most excellent features in a park. The DWP Railroad Tunnel is in this park, and Ely's Peak is also in this park, both of which are well worth the trip. So before that, you just would park there and you'd walk straight through the woods up the railroad grade on a very precipitous climb. There were no signs indicating anything, and actually, personally, I kind of preferred that because it felt a little bit like more of an adventure when you came across the railroad tunnel. But I don't begrudge them making it easier to get there. It's a nice feature, and it's good that more people can enjoy it. So, that railroad tunnel. So, I don't know if we're going to do both of the features. I'm going to start out with the railroad tunnel, then decide if I should continue to Ely's Peak. This is the easiest one to get to. There's a tangle of trails all through here, around the tunnel, up the rock cliffs, rock hillsides, and also down below in these woods here. So it's confusing, and it's also confusing because the easiest way to get to Ely's Peak, you have to start from a different parking lot than what I started in. There's another one about another half mile down Beck's Road, and if your goal is to go to Ely's Peak, that's the best way. It sort of follows the spine up from the Munger Trail to the top. But there is ways to get there from this direction. It's just a matter of figuring them out. I've been on this rock hillsides up here, just wandering around aimlessly trying to get from A to B. But this trail here, this is nice. This is graveled, accessible. I don't know the deal with all these humps. I guess this is a mountain bike trail too. I didn't realize that, but you can see the humps in here, like when you're hiking, these type of things are a little annoying. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, so that sign says tunnel and Ely's Peak. I would have thought that would be the way to go. You can see the steep hillside up there. The railroad grade is up on there. the abandoned railroad grade. It was drizzling when I started, now it's raining a little harder. Guess I could just take shelter in the tunnel from the rain. Don't want to stay there all day though. Walking in the rain is fine. The only problem is getting wet. Start to get too damp, it becomes that much harder to retain your body heat. Yeah, I don't even know. That sign claims that both the tunnel and the Ely's Peak are this way. Because my feeling is that the tunnel is like right up there. But anyway. Woohoo! Yeah. Woohoo! Yeah. Woohoo! Oh, that rain is really coming down now. Right when I started. I don't think I've done one of these in the rain yet, so here you go. Okay, it looks like it's switching back up here, which is what I thought or hoped would happen. Or is it maybe just my imagination? I wonder if this is passing by underneath the tunnel and coming up on the other side of it. I think this is a very new mountain bike trail. I don't think I've even been on this one before. I bet that's what it does. Passes underneath the railroad tunnel and then gets up to the DWP line. Yeah, I have not walked this before. Look at these dips. No regular hiking for you. This is a multi-purpose trail. This is new. Yet another new mountain bike trail. Well, just come up on the other side of the tunnel from what I was planning and walk through the other direction. Okay, so my guess is this side trail here goes off. Oh, that's the Lake Superior hiking trail. Goes off and picks up the trail that goes to the top of Ely's Peak. And they're calling this the Superior Hiking Trail Spur. If I recall that, those signs are pretty deceptive. Oh, okay. They're actually right at the tunnel here. So this is the right way. It's been a while since I've been up here. So this used to be sort of lost in the weeds. You'd walk through there and there'd be, you know, piles of rock that had fallen off the walls and stuff, off the ceiling. A few years ago, no, they gravelled this entire railroad grade from Skyline Parkway all the way over towards Spirit Mountain, several miles, and then also cleaned it up inside the tunnel so there's not big piles of rock everywhere. They also put in some signs here. Horses have right of way, so I guess a horse trail. Horses use this as well. But you can just sort of see it's confusing. These trails get to be confusing if you start off going up this way, which I may do, but just be aware. So here's the tunnel. Built in 1911. Took a year. Opened in 1912. This line was abandoned in the 1980s when the freeway came into Duluth and all railroad traffic started routing over to Wisconsin as opposed to coming down this line. Ooh. You can almost always see one end, or actually you can always see one end or the other. But there's a section right in the middle where it's a little dark. In the old days, you'd always have to be aware not to stumble over the rock, piles of rock. But now, it's like strolling down the boulevard. Should have brought a cane to twirl. Took a year to build this. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of metaphors for life up here in this short line park. You can see the chains hanging off the, well, I don't know if this picks it up. There's chains hanging down from the ceiling up there. People do rock climbing and things. I've heard that back when the train was still running, people would hang up there while trains are going by underneath them, which seems kind of gnarly. Better look at all those chains hanging. Look at that rain coming down. Yeah, so you can continue on in that direction toward Spirit Mountain. A fine walk. Highly recommend it. It's pretty easy now that everything's graveled and leveled. Several years ago it was a little bit more adventurous because there were some washouts in there and more brush encroaching, but that's all been taken care of. So I think I'm going to shut the video off and then resume for a hike up to Ely's Peak. So I walked back through the tunnel, came back down a trail here to where this other trail cuts off, which they call a Superior Hiking Trail, Loop Trail. It's not at all clear that this goes to Ely's Peak. But just from experience, I'm going to take this unmarked side trail. I think that right-hand branch goes way down before it starts climbing back up, whereas this sort of goes and joins up with the main trail going up the spine of the mountain. But again, confusing. All the trails around here, there's just this tangle. And unless you actually know, if you're like me, you'll take the wrong turn pretty much every time. And I don't actually know, I just feel like from experience that this is probably the way. The rain continues unabated. I'm quite soaked already. I do have snow pants on, but those get wet pretty easy. I have dry clothes in my pack, but do I really want to stop and change? Likely not. Probably just tough it out and stay wet until I get back to the car. Yeah, I mean, no, there's more. That one goes that way. We're just gonna continue taking whichever one goes uphill, because there is an official trail that goes up the spine kind of that way, which my guess is this joins up with at some point. I used to walk with my kids a lot. One of them in particular would just zip on ahead of everybody. Seem to recall he took a wrong turn out here once. We had to go hunt him down amongst the tangle of trails. Switched on to a lower gear here. Slow but steady. That's what Edward Abbey said. Climbing mountains, slow but steady. Don't stop. Okay. I think we found the main trail. Yeah. Fun coming up here in the winter, but this area is like an ice slide, very treacherous. Springtime, there's a creek flowing down here, pure mud, also very treacherous. Is that snow on Montauk? Looks like Montauk Ski Hill has some snow on it. There goes a train. real alpine feel up here. Oh, the rain let up. That's nice. St. Louis River estuary there. Cool. Don't fall. Straight ahead there, on the other side of those white buildings, is actually it's probably over there, Napoleon B. Merritt Memorial Park that we bushwhacked a few weeks ago. Well, when you lose the trail, oh, slippery. Just keep going up. Probably pick it up again. Looks like I was supposed to go that way. Anyhow. So that point over there is Barden's Peak. Skyline Parkway goes right by there. You can see across the way there, there's a trail traversing the hillside across it. That's the DWP line. That's the one that goes through the tunnel that we were at earlier. And if you walk it, you would be walking along that stretch. There's the train still going. That's a long one. Going to the railroad yards over there by Gary, and then ultimately across the bridge over into Wisconsin. It's nice that the rain stopped. That's one thing, I won't start a walk if it's just pouring, but often I'll start if it's just raining some. Because then if it stops, then you're already halfway done. And if it doesn't stop, well, just get wet. Normally I would head out or walk out there a little bit, but these rocks are wet and I just don't feel like it. And my boots grips are not the greatest. They're old. And here we are, the side trail. No sign to indicate that that goes up there other than somebody penciled it in with marker on this marker here. If you continue on that way, you eventually get to Skyline Parkway. That's a little bit easier than coming up the way we did, but not much. There's a lot of up and down and rocky areas there. So we are on the final approach here. And again, in the winter, this is like an ice slide, this whole area. Saw a couple cars in the lot. Wonder if we'll see anybody else up here. May not be able to say much up there if the wind is strong. Made it. Let's get up there. Whoa. You can see a parking area down there. That is not where we started, but that's where you start if you want to come up to this peak by the easier route than I did. I actually parked right over there. Can't see it. And so over that way is the Magny Snively Natural Area. All that. Almost all of it. You can bushwhack your way through over there, all through there, and then this way, it's the Mission Creek area, Frederick Rodney Payne Wilderness, or Nature Preserve, and right over there, all that, and beyond that is Jay Cook Park. That is is almost all of that is in the city of Duluth, and that is some wild country. The raindrops are messing with my focus. Raindrops keep messing with my focus. Sounds like a song. That right there is I believe it's a construction debris disposal site. And Sargent Creek flows through right on the other side of there. Coming out at Boy Scout Landing, which is basically down that way in Gary. That's Gary, that name. The island is Spirit Island out there. So there you have it. Park number 17, Shortline Park. Thanks for watching.